Let's bring in, on a totally different House Oversight Committee ranking member James Comer. Congressman Comer, welcome back. We want you to have talk about what we're hearing the Washington Post writing, that it looks like an indictment could be imminent on Hunter Biden. And you tweeted this out. This is just the tip of the iceberg. Hunter and the Biden family have peddled access to enrich themselves, racking up 150 suspicious activity reports from shady deals. Even worse, we know Joe is involved in selling U.S. natural gas to China. We're going to keep pushing for transparency and accountability. Is this good news for people who want justice, or disappointing news?
Well, it's a little disappointing to me, but I'm not surprised. We knew that Hunter Biden was under investigation in Delaware for tax evasion and for lying about purchasing a gun. He lied on his application to purchase a gun. Look, these are small potatoes compared to all the problems that Hunter Biden has. There's mounting evidence, as you mentioned, that Hunter Biden was peddling access to our adversaries all over the world. There's mounting evidence that he was an undisclosed foreign agent, which is a major felony. And there's even mounting evidence that he was involved in some type of money laundering scheme. So all of these problems that Hunter Biden have pale in comparison to the charges that the Washington Post mentioned.
Congressman, why has it taken so long? This investigation began 4 years ago, A. And B, if Republicans do win the House, take back the House, where does this go?
Well, this is going to be a priority for Republicans, especially Republicans on the House Oversight Committee. We've been probing for months. The more that comes out, the worse it sounds. The reason we're investigating Hunter Biden is because we believe he's a national security threat. But we're also concerned that Hunter Biden's shady business dealings have compromised Joe Biden. And there are countless examples of where Joe Biden has changed rules, like, for example, changing the rules to where Congress can have access to these suspicious activity reports, which are bank violations that both Hunter Biden and Jim Biden have committed. We are supposed to have access to that. Joe Biden changed rules. He has blocked Republican oversight at every corner. This impending indictment is just a drop in the bucket. We're going to continue our investigation of Hunter Biden. We honestly don't care if he lied on his application to purchase a gun. We are concerned about the national security threats and all the influence peddling that not just Hunter Biden, but the entire Biden family have been doing for over a decade. And the big question is, was Joe involved? And more evidence is coming forward to prove that he was involved.
So is this investigation and what's coming forward with it now a predicate? And I want to hone on that word predicate in two different scenarios. One is it's the beginning. It's the predicate for something larger, as you point out, something more consequential, something more important about potential corruption at the highest levels of the American government. Or is it a predicate, as some have offered, like Fox News Channel's Mark Levin, to show some semblance of fairness within the Department of Justice to say, see, we've done something with Hunter, now watch us go after Donald Trump?
You know, it could be either. But either way, it's small potatoes compared to the problems that Hunter Biden has. And again, we're not investigating Hunter Biden for political reasons. We have a pretty large amount of confidence to believe that he's a national security threat. And if you look at the things that Joe Biden's done, for example, issuing sanctions on all the Russian oligarchs except the two that paid Hunter Biden in the past, changing the rules where Congress couldn't have access to the suspicious activity reports. There are examples in the energy policy that would question why Joe Biden has put America last and China first, and then you find out that China transferred $5 million into an account that Hunter Biden had for consulting to try to buy American natural gas for a Chinese energy company. It just doesn't make sense. We're going to continue to investigate this because we do believe that this administration is compromised as a result of Hunter's shady business dealings.
And the thing is, you have a source, a person part of all those deals. Tony Bobulinski was being defrauded by Jim and Hunter and possibly Joe to begin with. And what you're referring to in that tweet is the fact is some of these investments went into the sinister Belt and Road program that was created to undermine our influence in various developing nations around the country. What you do is you build them an airport, you get them a tunnel, you build them ports. When they can't make the payments, you take it over. That's the Belt and Road program, and they need financing for it. This fund was helping with that program. What more proof do you need that you need to investigate this?
No, we don't need any. And it's even worse. According to the whistleblowers that we're dealing with, is that the ultimate objective of the Chinese energy company was to actually purchase the interest in the drillers of natural gas. So they were wanting to get their foot in the door on the American natural gas infrastructure industry. And this would have been a huge national security risk. We're already having to depend on OPEC for oil because of bad policies in the Biden administration. Now we would have to depend on China for natural gas. I mean, this is terrible. This is terrible policy for the American people, and it all traces back to Hunter Biden and Joe Biden's brothers' shady business dealings with our adversaries. That's why we're going to continue this investigation regardless of what happens to Hunter in federal court.
We'll be watching. Thank you so much, Congressman.
I'm Steve Doocy.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.